वो वहाँ आए, उनसे बात हुई, उन्होंने अपना ये प्रोग्राम रखा, उसमें लोगों ने उनकी बात बहुत खंदा पेशानी से सुनी और उसके बाद अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह एक हॉल तामीर हुआ, जिससे कि आज तकरीबन 22 साल हो गए, 22 साल से लड़के उसमें मुस्तफ़ीज़ हो रहे हैं। वो पहला माइलस्टोन था जिसको अल्लाह ताला ने, जिसकी शहादत मेरे हाथों में लिखी थी और वो मेरे ज़रिए हुआ। होना तो था ही वो इसलिए नहीं कि मैं कर रहा हूँ तो हो गया, बल्कि इसलिए कि अल्लाह ताला को कोई काम करवाना था, उसको मेरे हाथों में वो शहादत लिखनी थी, वो मेरे हाथों में लिखी गई और मुझसे बन गया। मैं जब उसको बनने के बाद वहाँ गया देखने के लिए, तो आप यकीन कीजिए, खुद मुझे यकीन नहीं आता था कि मुझे अलीगढ़ से निकले हुए अभी सिर्फ 12 साल हुए हैं और ये वही अलीगढ़ है कि जहाँ कोई ऐसी जगह भी नहीं थी जहाँ मैं एक दिन कहीं जाकर किसी के पास, किसी के घर में एक कप चाय का पी लेता या मेरा कोई रिश्तेदार या जानने वाला होता, कोई भी नहीं था। एक अनजान सरजमीन पर हम सब वो लोग हैं कि जो छोटी छोटी बस्तियों से निकल कर आते हैं और यहाँ अपना मस्कन बना लेते हैं। मैं भी उन्हीं में से एक था। मैंने भी अलीगढ़ को मस्कन बनाया और सबसे ज़्यादा अप्रोप्रिएट चीज़ जो मुझे लगी वो ये लगी कि इससे ज़्यादा नोबल कॉज कोई नहीं हो सकता कि मैं वहाँ पर बजाय इसके कि दिल्ली में एक अपने लिए मकान ख़रीदूँ और उस मकान में जो है मेरे घर वाले कभी कभार रह लिया करें आकर, इसकी इतनी ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं है जितनी ज़रूरत इस बात की है कि कोई ऐसा काम कर दिया जाए कि जिससे अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी में हमारी आने वाली नस्ल रह सके। तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वो काम हो गया। और उसके बाद बराबर ऐसी बातें लोगों से होती रहीं कि हर शख्स इस बात को जिक्र करता रहा और ये कोशिश करता रहा कि वो जहाँ कहीं हो अपने बस्ती में, अपने गांव में, अपने शहर में इस तरह के दूसरे एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस बनाता रहे या अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी में अगर उसको मौका मिलता है तो वो करे। हमारे बहुत से साथी हैं, रियाद में भी हैं, जद्दा में भी हैं, कि जिन्होंने एजुकेशन के लिए बहुत कुछ करना शुरू किया है और बहुत कुछ कर रहे हैं। मैं समझता हूँ बड़ा ही खुशाइन पहलू है ये कि हम सब आज इस बात के लिए यहाँ सर जोड़कर बैठे हुए हैं कि हमें आइंदा नस्ल के लिए अलीगढ़ में क्या क्या इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट करने हैं। जब मैं 2013 में मोहतरम वाइस चांसलर साहब तशरीफ़ लाए थे और उनसे मेरी पहली मुलाकात हुई तो मैंने उनसे गुजारिश की थी कि 2020 में इस यूनिवर्सिटी को मुकम्मल हुए तकरीबन 100 साल हो जाएंगे। इस 100 साला जश्न मनाने का एक तरीक़ा तो यह है कि हम जगह जगह जलसे करें, हर शहर में जलसे करें और अलीगढ़ में सबसे बड़ा जलसा करें और उसमें अपनी तारीफ़ बयान करें, दूसरों की तारीफ़ें बयान करें, हमने क्या किया है, वो अचीवमेंट हम काउंट करें कि हमने इतने इतने बड़े बड़े लोगों को इस यूनिवर्सिटी ने पैदा किया। और दूसरा तरीक़ा यह है कि हम अभी से प्रोग्राम बनाएं कि हम 2020 में आने वाली अगली 100 साल के लोगों के लिए क्या चीज़ छोड़कर जा रहे हैं। आज से हम सन 2013 से क्या प्रोग्राम करते हैं कि हमारे लिए क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं, कौन कौन से नए डिपार्टमेंट्स हम बनाएंगे, कौन कौन से नए हॉस्टल्स हम बनाएंगे। और इसमें कम से कम मेरा ये वो है प्रपोज़ल कि इसमें कम से कम 8,000 लड़कों की और लड़कियों की, 4,000 लड़कियों की और 4,000 लड़कों की एकोमोडेशन का हम तहिया करें कि ये 2020 तक हमें प्रोवाइड करके देनी है। इसके अलावा एक कम से कम नई फैकल्टी जो मॉडर्न उसूलों पर और मॉडर्न कोर्सेज पर हो, ख़ास तौर पर इंजीनियरिंग से रिलेटेड, क्योंकि इन 100 साला दौर में एजुकेशन और उसका अंदाज बिल्कुल बदल गया है। हमारे यहाँ वो चेंजेस होती रहती हैं लेकिन ज़रूरत है एक अल्ट्रा मॉडर्न इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज के बनाने की। तो उसके लिए हमें काम करना चाहिए और फिर गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को भी अभी से लिखना चाहिए कि हम इस मरहले में क्या यूनिवर्सिटी को दे सकते हैं, क्या अपनी कौम को दे सकते हैं। उसके लिए दोनों तरफ से, प्राइवेटली भी और गवर्नमेंट के लेवल पर भी इसके लिए कोशिश करना चाहिए। मोहतरम वाइस चांसलर साहब ने मेरे सजेशंस भी और ख़ुद उनके अपने जहन में जो डेवलपमेंट्स का खाका था उन्होंने और उनके जो दूसरा एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव टीम थी उन सब ने अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अनथक कोशिश की है। हमें सबको उसे सराहना चाहिए, उसको अप्रिशिएट करना चाहिए, उनको इनकरेज करना चाहिए। और अभी हमारे पास 5 साल बाकी हैं, उस 5 सालों के लिए अपनी एक्टिविटीज़ को और ज़्यादा तेज़ करना चाहिए। हमारे पास आज इतने अच्छे पैनलिस्ट यहाँ मौजूद हैं। मोहतरम जनाब जैगम खान साहब हैं जो रियाद ही में मौजूद हैं, इनकी भी एजुकेशन में और डेवलपमेंट में यूनिवर्सिटी के कामों में हमेशा सरगर्मी रहती है और हमेशा इंटरेस्टेड रहते हैं। इसके साथ साथ जनाब अमीर अहमद साहब हैं जिनका बहुत कंट्रीब्यूशन है हमें मॉरल सपोर्ट देने में और फिज़िकली और इकोनॉमिकली यूनिवर्सिटी के प्रोजेक्ट्स को, डेवलपमेंट के प्रोजेक्ट्स में सपोर्ट देने में। आपने कई डोनेशंस दिए हैं और कई बिल्डिंग्स में आपका कंट्रीब्यूशन है। इसी तरह मोहतरमा शाहीन उस्मानी साहबा हैं, जो जिनका आज आपने देखा कि एजुकेशन के लिए उन्होंने $25,000 का अपनी कम्युनिटी की तरफ से, अपने लोगों की तरफ से न्यूयॉर्क से यहाँ पर एक अपना वो पेश किया डोनेशन का चेक। साथ में मिसेस गजाला कोकम है। ये सब वो लोग हैं जिनका दिल हमेशा अलीगढ़ के लिए धड़कता है और जो कंसर्न रहते हैं इस बात से कि अलीगढ़ में किस तरह से तब्दीली लाई जाए। मैं सभी से गुजारिश करूँगा वन बाय वन कि आएँ और अपने अपने आइडियाज़ दें कि हमें किस तरह प्लान करना चाहिए, ख़ास तौर पर 2020 तक यूनिवर्सिटी में डेवलपमेंट करने का। और आप सबसे गुजारिश करूंगा कि जहां कहीं आपको मौका मिले, जो कोई आपके जानने वाले हों, उन सबको इस बात को पब्लिसाइज कीजिए और कहिए कि देखिए हमने 100 साल में इस इदारे से इतना फ़ायदा उठाया है, अब हमें अगले 100 साल के लिए इसकी प्लानिंग करनी है। मैं एक और गुजारिश भी करूंगा मोहतरम वाइस चांसलर साहब से और अपनी जो टीम है डेवलपमेंट की उससे, कि अब क्योंकि कैंपस पुराने एरिया से निकलकर नए एरिया की तरफ जा रहा है, हम इसको नाम दे सकते हैं कि ये रेलवे लाइन के इधर का इलाका जो है ये वेस्टर्न कैंपस है और रेलवे लाइन के उधर का इलाका जो है वो ईस्टर्न कैंपस है। तो ईस्टर्न कैंपस को डेवलप करने के लिए उसका एक मास्टर प्लान अभी से तैयार किया जाए, जिसमें हम ये कोशिश करें कि हमारे आगे आने वाले 20 साल तक हम कौन कौन से डिपार्टमेंट बनाना चाहते हैं, कौन कौन सी फैसिलिटीज़ वहाँ प्रोवाइड करना चाहते हैं, उसका अभी से मास्टर प्लान हो। और उस मास्टर प्लान के साथ साथ हम गवर्नमेंट से ये अप्रोच करें कि क्योंकि यूनिवर्सिटी के बहुत से हॉल्स और बहुत से डिपार्टमेंट्स अब उधर आ रहे हैं, उसका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल डेवलपमेंट जो कि यूनिवर्सिटी की प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है बल्कि सिटी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को या जो स्टेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है उसको करना चाहिए, उसको अभी से मास्टर प्लान किया जाए। उसकी सड़कों का डेवलपमेंट, उसका इंक्रोचमेंट रोकने की कोशिश और उसका एक मास्टर प्लान वो अभी से तैयार किया जाए और उसके ऊपर फिर हम काम करना शुरू करें, ताकि जो भी कोई प्रोजेक्ट आए वो पहले से असाइंड हो, कि कुछ लोग सर जोड़कर बैठें और सोचें कि हमें क्या क्या चीज़ों की ज़रूरत है जो हम अगले सेंचुरी के लिए करना चाहते हैं और 20 साल में हम उनको डेवलपमेंट करना चाहते हैं। उसका एक मास्टर प्लान बनाया जाए और उस पर हम फिर सब लोग मुत्तफिक होकर उसे पब्लिश करें और उसके बाद प्रोजेक्ट बाय प्रोजेक्ट फंड रेजिंग शुरू करें। ये मेरा प्रपोजल है। इसके साथ साथ मैं अपने और दूसरे पैनलिस्ट जो हैं उनको भी एक एक करके मदऊ करूंगा यहाँ कि वो आएँ और बताएं कि हम किस तरह यूनिवर्सिटी के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए प्राइवेट फंडिंग इकट्ठा कर सकते हैं। शुक्रिया, जज़ाकल्लाह। Now I would request Mohtaram Amir Sahab to please come here and give his suggestions. Thank you very much.
अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम, बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन, सलातु वस्सलामु अला रसूलिल अमीन। Dignitaries on the dais, respected teachers, my dear students, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to pay my homage to our guiding light, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who made our life brighter by sacrificing a lot of things. Unfortunately, I was little upset today when I entered into Kennedy Hall. I can understand that this hall was ready only yesterday. Probably that might be the reason. But I was expecting a photograph of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan on both sides. I have a reason for that one. After leaving AMU in 1978, when I was invited for the first alumni conference in 2008, I just came empty-handed. I just wanted to see what is happening here without having any agenda or anything. I was sitting here in the front bay. I was called to the stage just to make a few words. I was not having anything to speak or anything. But when I was walking from there to these steps, the photographs of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan touched my heart, and it made me to make an announcement that day that if AMU initiate for a management complex, I will contribute X amount. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, that management complex, even though it was delayed a lot, it is getting into a reality. Inshallah, by end of this year, with the grace of Allah, it could be opened. That was a beginning. I feel there are several Amir Ahmeds among the alumni who could also get motivated by a photograph of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. So it is very important that we have that spirit to be kept alive in our heart. Okay, before starting my points about the infrastructure development, I would like to make an announcement with the permission of Vice Chancellor, which I have taken. I have a good news to share with the children, the students. My last 1 year's effort among the alumni of Dubai have fructified by one of our alumnus promising to take 25 graduate engineers from AMU from now onwards within the next 1 year time. This is a beginning. Let me tell you the children, this is a beginning. There are umpteen number of people who are ready to take. But there are a lot of conditions. The first and foremost, the attitudinal things what they need in the international market, it is something which I want to emphasize. The only thing what he insisted is that, Amir bhai, attitude wise acha ladkon ko chahiye. I said, sir, you keep the conditions. I will fulfill the conditions because Aligarh is a pool of talents. You want any type of people with good attitude, bad attitude, or any attitude for that matter. You get it here. And it is my promise, we will give you the sample 25 people who will excel in any areas. And by that one, I want you to give me a promise back. If these 25 students are successful, you have to give me 50 more. And he has agreed, not 50, I'll give you 100. So my dear children, it's a request. Please start preparing for that one. There is going to be a test conducted here for selecting 25 engineering students from the branches of electrical, mechanical, and instrumentation. It is for a facility management company. Why I am telling you all these details are because please start doing your homework. There is no shortcut for hard work. If you work hard, find out what is a facility management company. It's a new field, but it's an emerging field which is getting into Indian industries also, corporate sector as well as in the real estate market. So this is a wide opportunity for all of you. Please make use of it. Now coming to the infrastructure development of AMU. Frankly speaking, Aligarh alumni, after last 1 year of my Vision 2040 development programs and touring, I have found one thing very clear. There is lot of spirit among the alumni of AMU. That jo jasba hai na, that is something which is really at its peak. But people have some doubts. Especially when a project is being brought here, people think that how the money is going to be spent. Getting money, I don't think it is that difficult. And getting people to do that also is not that difficult. But how it will be implemented is a big question. I just want to make a note to, Nadeem bhai, if we put up credible projects with proper planning and all sorts of things, there are alumni around the world who are either individually or collectively who are ready to do it. And there is no dearth for money. But credible project, when I say credible project, especially the NRIs, they don't want too much of hassles of how this has been managed. Many of the people who are coming here, including Mr. Frank Islam and all, they are all concerned about the implementation part of it. They don't like to have the red tapeism and all sorts of things to be exhibited in front of them. Aligarh may have its own this thing, for which my suggestion is that rather than going it through the university channels, if the administration can think about a channel by which a special purpose vehicle is being created in order to channelize these funds and try to get the most competitive quotes and other methods, I am sure that there will be people who are ready to invest in their alma mater. Another very important thing is, like what Nadeem Bhai suggested, is the master plan. Aligarh have developed over a period of time. We all have that spirit of developing Aligarh. On the other hand, many of the developments over a period of time have lost the character. Aligarh has got a character. When you go to Sir Syed Hall even today, the Strategy Hall, the Victoria Gate, they all have a character by itself. Unfortunately, over a period of time, we lost it. Vice Chancellor and Pro-Vice Chancellor have taken their initiative to restore many things. Thank God and thanks to them, they have done a wonderful job. But we have no guarantee that whether it is going to be continued or not, because unfortunately, we are infamous for criticizing anything and everything. We don't want that. That is why my suggestion to the Vice Chancellor is that before he vacate the seat, it is my humble request that please initiate for a master plan so that what character the buildings which are to come here in this university will be determined from now onwards up to next 25 years or so. If that type of a situation comes, then we can foresee that every building will have some character which depicts the culture of AMU. Another very important thing which I want to bring to your notice is the current situation. It is a testing time for the community. Muslim community, for reasons unknown to most of us, is being a target for many people. My assessment is that it is not that we need to react to all the provocations what has been made by others. At the same time, if you ask me, I don't like me to be called as a minority. I don't like me to be called as a minority, even though it is my right. I would like to start thinking from my inside. I am the member of the second largest majority of this country. That brings me the confidence to stand on my own feet. ये बार-बार रोने से कोई फायदा नहीं है. We have seen it. Last 60, 70 years, minority, minority, minority बोल के. In fact, we have wasted a lot of our time. Aligarh is not the end of the world. Aligarh is only a beginning. People like us, Nadeem Bhai, so many other illustrious alumni of this university have excelled themselves all over the world. How? What you learn from here, if you start testing it elsewhere, you are much better off than what you try to excel yourself here in this small pond. Like I used to tell to my close friends here in Aligarh, instead of being a frog in the pond, try to be a whale in the open sea. I'm sure that you will get a lot of opportunity to swim around. That confidence has to be there among the children. And as well, we have to start thinking that in the adverse situations, how we will bring up this university. We should not lose our hope that government is not giving the sufficient funds, for which we have to create our own resources. Vice Chancellor have instituted a corpus fund of 100 crores. Unfortunately, we have reached only halfway through. There has to be some definite plans. Like somebody in the morning session said, it has to be a smart goal, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. If we, all of us, come to a consensus that in another 3 years' time, we have to mobilize 50 crores of rupees, I'm sure that it is not an unreachable target. It is an easily reachable target, balance 50 crores or so. Basically, we have to see that I always used to wonder, there are more than 10 crores of rupee is been distributed in Aligarh itself as salary every month. If every teacher start thinking that a portion of his zakat or sadaqah has to go back to this, their alma mater, I'm sure that 10 lakhs rupee we can collect every month. if there is 10 lakhs rupees, in our Vision 2040 projects, we have some informal primary education schools. I always used to say that Sir Syed Ahmad Khan has given a great thinking for us. Aligarh mein aake ilm le lo, duniya ka kone kone pe jaake ilm baat lo. Unfortunately, we are a community who have forgotten even to distribute that knowledge in Aligarh district. It's a shame on all of us. Okay? And even today, if you go to the gullies of Aligarh, you can see so many children who have not seen the school. Last 1 year, we have supported one of the informal primary education school called Mallaka Nagla mein, this Hamara school. We started 2 schools, one in Maulana Asad Nagar, another one in Shah Jamal. We need at least 10 schools to be started. If Aligarh teachers alone contribute 1% of their salary for 1 year, every month this thing, we can start 1 informal primary education school every month. And that is the thing. And I don't want the teachers alone to be there. Even the children, you have to start practicing the art of giving. If you are getting 100 rupee from your home, keep 1 rupee for the sake of community. You all have to give back. There are a few lucky people like me, Nadeem Bhai and all, who have been fortunate enough to give something here. I consider myself to be lucky that Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's photograph made me to contribute. And that spirit brought me again here. I spend every month 10 days in Uttar Pradesh working on the Vision 2040 projects. I want all my children, students to join hands with us. We will show you what is the advantage of practicing the art of giving. And my request to alumni from all over the world, time has come. We all have to start practicing that art of giving. And inshallah, if this target of 50 crores is being made, I expect at least 50% of it to come from NRIs or the alumni of AMU from outside India. And the 50% resources are there in places like Bombay, places like Hyderabad and many other places. But we don't have a collective effort to collect it. My humble request to Vice Chancellor is that please create not a formal committee, very strong committee who can act and who can generate funds and bring it in this direction. We have to, another resource or the other source for creating resources in AMU, what I am seeing is that hearing the speech in the morning from Vice Chancellor, commercialization of the researchers of AMU. AMU have never been marketed properly. It's only off late, after this Vice Chancellor have come, he started talking about we want to be the number 1, we want to be number 1. Ultimately, at least we have reached number 2. Inshallah, number 1 is not very far. But please understand, there is a small difference between excellence and good. We have to be in that excellent category for which we have to do a lot of hard work. And let us start doing it. And in this process, one of the main area what I am seeing is to start the research commercialization. Sorry, you were talking about nanotechnology. I am fascinated. I am a person who is having an R&D company in UK. I started with a few crores of rupees, and today my company has been valued about 600 crores. I'm shocked. I have not spent, I spent hardly 60 or 70 crores of rupees, and it has been valued at 600 crores. A similar situation can be made in Aligarh. The whole world is open for us. If nanotechnology and all sorts of things, what you were talking here in this morning, if there is an opportunity for people like us being given to commercialize it, we are ready to work for AMU, and we are ready to work with your team, and we are ready to do whatever is possible. And that is the way we can generate funds. The world is open for us, but we have to stand on our own feet. Unfortunately, our enemies are not outside. We have more enemies within us. Those who want, for their petty interests, pulling down every good thing what is being done by whether administration or the teachers or this thing. I know a vast majority of the teachers are excellent in AMU. I know the students also, a majority of them are extremely good, well-behaved children who keep that culture of AMU. But that 10% or few percentage of bad elements spoil the whole thing. It needs only a drop of poison to spoil the milk pot. Understand it. It is the responsibility of each and every one of us not to allow that drop of poison to come into the milk. And this milk in the pot is to be carried on the shoulders of us for years to come. For which I am sure, please start practicing the art of giving. Please be among those fortunate like us, a few who have already contributed, and be there. And let me assure you one thing, those who have a heart to give, Allah will give plenty more in return. This is the most important lesson I would like to share with my younger generation, and I am sure that is a lesson which I want to share with my alumni friends also, because last 1 year of my experience of leaving my business have only given much more prosperity for my business in the hands of my children. With this one, I would like to thank Vice Chancellor as well as the authorities here for the opportunity given to me to speak a few words. And I promise that I will always be there with AMU in the journey forward. Thank you very much. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.
थैंक यू अमीर भाई फॉर गिविंग सच नाइस सजेशंस। मैं समझता हूँ आपने जो बात कही वो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि अब वक्त आ गया है कि हम एक कमेटी की तश्कील दें जो कि ऐसे अच्छे थिंकर्स की हो जो ये सोच सकें कि एक तरफ तो यूनिवर्सिटी के अपने इनकम रिसोर्सेज किस तरह बढ़ाए जाएं, जिसमें जैसे मोहतरम वाइस चांसलर साहब ने पहले फरमाया था कि यहाँ पर जो हमारा यूनानी मेडिसिन का डिपार्टमेंट है वो ख़ुद अपने आप में उसमें इतना पोटेंशियल है कि वो करोड़ों रुपए जनरेट कर सकता है हर साल। तो या जिस तरह आपने कहा कि रिसर्च के जो हमारे काम हैं उसको इंडस्ट्री से किस तरह जोड़कर हमें इनकम बढ़ानी है, तो एक तरफ तो हम इस पर काम करें और दूसरी तरफ जो डोनेशंस हैं उसमें काम करें। मैं आपको याद दिलाता चलूँ, जिस वक्त हमारे हॉल का अभी पिछली दफ़े बुनियाद रखी गई है और उसमें बात हुई तो हमारे प्रोफेसर्स ने उस और जो और अलीगढ़ के लोग थे उसमें चंद ही लोग शामिल थे, 25-30 लोग। उसी वक्त उसमें 20 कमरों के लिए लोगों ने प्लेज किया, जिसमें मोहतरम वाइस चांसलर साहब और दूसरे यहाँ के प्रोफेसर शामिल थे। तो ऐसी बात नहीं है कि यहाँ पर जो लोग हैं वो कंट्रीब्यूशन के लिए तैयार नहीं है। मैं समझता हूँ कि जो प्लानर्स हैं उनकी कमी है, हम मांगने वालों की कमी है। तो हमें मांगने वालों को भी इकट्ठा करना पड़ेगा, जोड़ना पड़ेगा कि किस तरह हम लोगों के पास जाकर लोगों को मोटिवेट करते हैं। मैं अपने बीच आए हुए मोहतरम मिसेस शाहीन उस्मानी और उनके साथ आई हुई मिसेस मैरी को दावत दूंगा कि वो दोनों यहाँ तशरीफ़ लाएं और वो बताएं कि अमेरिका में किस पैटर्न पर काम होता है और एजुकेशन में हम उनकी क्या मदद ले सकते हैं या वो किस तरह हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी के डेवलपमेंट में कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकती हैं। शुक्रिया। प्लीज़ मिसेस मैरी, could you please come here on the dais and give your suggestions?
The first one. And then I go this.
You can change it from here.
Right.
Down arrow.
This one, right? Assalamu alaikum everybody. Once again, I am Shaheen here, and I am once again representing Aligarh Alumni Association, New York, and we call it ANI. And at the onset, I would like to thank the administration and Vice Chancellor Saab for giving us the opportunity. I would be presenting along with Professor Mary Dibe, who is my colleague, and we would be talking about, we would be presenting actually a proposal to Mr. Okay. Is that good? So we would be presenting a proposal for opening a school in Aligarh and also an early intervention center. Mary will be talking in detail about it. At the beginning, I am going with the first piece, a little bit of piece, where I will be talking about what Annie is doing in New York and how are we helping the community and what are we doing as a community services. Annie is a non-profit educational and charitable organization. And the mission statement is spreading literacy and education across continents. Annie was founded in 1997. Here are some of the aims and objectives. We organize Sir Syed Day function every year and we have a lot of fun. Awards to distinct authors at the Sir Syed Day dinner, Sir Syed Lifetime Achievement Award, Sir Ross Masood Lifetime Achievement Award, and we promote Urdu language and culture, publications at Aligarh Alumni Magazine, New York Ali, helping alumni and their families who come to New York State. Here are the elected officers. I'm just a member, but I'm not the elected officer. You can see the wonderful pictures of the elected officers here. Annie gave a reception to Lieutenant General Zamir Uddin Shah, Vice Chancellor AMU at the Indian Consulate in New York. Annie donation helps establish, thank you, and we are very proud of this. Annie donation helps establish a computer lab at Ahmadi School for the visually challenged at AMU Aligarh. And we donated a sum of $5,000 to Ahmadi School for visually challenged and at AMU March 26, 2015. And you can see the picture here. Since 2011, Annie supports Al Noor Charitable Society, founded by Mrs. Salma Ansari, wife of Honorable Hamid Ansari, Vice President of India, to run 3 schools for marginalized communities at Aligarh. And then again, you see that beautiful picture there. Presentation of Lifetime Achievement Award to renowned Indian actor, late Mr. Farooq Sheikh. He was there and we had the opportunity of seeing him and talking to him, a wonderful person. Presentation of Sir Syed Lifetime Achievement Award to Mr. Javed Akhtar. He was there last year and again we had a great time with them. There was a mushaira and some ghazals. And of course, Amir Ahmed Sahab presented Vision 2040 program at a fundraising program in May 2016. Annie fundraised 25,000 for Vision 2040, that the check that we had given in the morning. You can see. So you can see Mr. Amir Ahmed, you can see me. I was kind of a motivational speaker there to empty the pockets, I should say. So next, oh, where did I go? I'm missing something, I think. Yeah. Okay, here we go. And of course, we had Dr. Nadeem Tareen Sahab. He appealed for Hall of Residence at AMU at the fundraising program. He was also there to help us. And we see Mary there, Professor Mary Dibbe was also there at the fundraising program. And Annie fundraised $15,000 for Riyadh Hall, American Wing. And we hope to work with Mr. Nadeem Tareen Sahab in future. And we hope to work in coordination with you and would like to work in Riyadh as well. So this is the basic thing that we are talking about, the school, the AMU, Annie, Brooklyn College, Manpat collaboration. So we 3 have joined hands together and we would like to come together. So this is a great opportunity. We would be working as a team and I'm really thrilled and excited to present the proposal. Basically, like I would repeat once again, we are trying to open a school in Aligarh, but it's a little different because we want a sustainable quality school in Aligarh. That's what we are looking for, and it can be for the marginalized. And I'm grateful and thankful to Mr. Amir Ahmed for supporting us and encouraging us. I wouldn't be here without his support, and we wouldn't be talking about the proposal without him. So thank you, sir, for supporting us. And now I give the torch to Mary, and she's going to talk more about it, about the school that we intend to open and how we collaborate, the Brooklyn College, and Annie, and Mr. Amir Ahmed, how we have come together and how we have a dream of opening a school here and also work for the poor disabled children. We have done a little bit of groundwork in terms of, like, we visited the medical college, and Professor Tamkeen Khan, she is helping us, and we are talking with the pediatricians in the medical college. We have our presentation on October 18, where we will present our proposal, and we will talk about how we can help small children with disabilities, the early intervention program, how it is done at our university, and our college is a part of it. That's one part. We also visited the education department yesterday, and people are wonderful. They are supporting us, and we are also talking about how we can kind of build a bridge between City University of New York and Aligarh Muslim University, where the students from Aligarh Muslim University can benefit from learning, taking courses from Brooklyn College. Thank you very much, and Mary will now elaborate more on that. So Mary, I invite you.
I just push where I push down here. There's a picture here. It's not coming up. I hope the others do. I want to send greetings from Brooklyn College to the Vice Chancellor, to Mr. Ahmad, and to Mr. Tareem, who have been supportive of our work at working with young children. And we are very grateful to be here, and people send their warmest welcome. When we, Shaheen? Shaheen's not working. Oh, got it. Oh, that is the college. Thank you. I was pushing the wrong button. Okay, on May 19th, I knew nothing about Aligarh. I didn't even know how to spell it. The only thing I knew was my colleague, Shaheen Usmani, had come here, and she talked fondly about it. But on May 20th, 9 o'clock in the morning, in walk Shaheen Usmani and other Aligarhians, as they call them in New York. Here, I think you call yourselves Aligarhs. There, they call themselves Aligarhians. In walk a couple doctors, a professor, and a businessman and philanthropist, Mr. Ahmad. And Shaheen had been working with the Alumni Association and said to Mr. Ahmad that if he was going to do Vision 2040, he really should think about early childhood education. And if you're thinking about early education, she told him, you better think about Brooklyn College, because it's the best in New York City. And this is bragging. We have just been voted the second best in the country. So this is very good news for us. So in walks this group of wonderful professionals, and I knew immediately that they were very smart. I mean, it's just, they talk and they're smart. I also knew that Aligarh had educated them well. Aligarh had also taught them how to do things. They were all professionals, very, very advanced in their fields. So Aligarh had educated their minds. They had educated their hands, as we talk about it, to do their work. And it wasn't long, maybe within a half hour, I realized what Aligarh did was they also educated the heart. And when I thought, here we have this is a group of people that we would love to work with. And if you're going to start schools, we in the United States found out starting in 1965 when we had our war on poverty, that you really had to start with young children. And over the years, our program in early childhood education, now we work with infants and toddlers with disabilities, and we work with 3s and 4s, and that is where as a college and as a school of education, we put a lot of our emphasis because actually starting at 6 and 7 is a little too late. You get more bang for your buck when you're working with very, very young children. We know that most of our brain development happens most rapidly in the early years. For those of us fortunate enough to be here today, we all know we had parents, grandparents, and teachers who helped shape our early lives, and we all are grateful for this, and we need to pass it on. Our task with wonderful Mr. Ahmad and Nadine is to develop a sustainable early childhood model within the Vision 2040 and within Saudi Arabia's programs. And when we talk about quality, I won't go in and bore you because I only have 2 more minutes. We're talking about developmentally appropriate practices and curriculum for young children. They're not 8 years old, they're 3, they're 4, they're 2. We know that children are active learners. We know that education for young children has to be based on the positive culture and history of the community, and we need to base all our work on the relationships. Last year, Shaheen and I visited schools when we were here in New Delhi, and one of the things we realized is that there's education, there's informal education. But as you see in this picture, is one of the schools we visited. Children need space, they need materials, and they need teachers who understand how children develop and learn. And so when we're talking about how we develop a model, we know that this is the group of children that needs this quality early childhood education so desperately. This is a picture at the same school out in the courtyard. And all the families were there when we attended, and they sang, they gave a little performance. They, as India does so well, they had flowers. And we know that from all the research of the 50 years in working in poverty areas in the United States, you have to build upon the strengths of the families and community. And we can say, well, those communities are so small, they're so poor, they're not educated. Everybody has strengths. Everybody has something that we need to connect with. The last thing we need, I just love this picture of my colleague Shaheen, and she's like a Pied Piper, and because we need quality teachers, and that's one of the biggest things we're thinking about. And we met with the School of Education here at Aligarh yesterday, and we're going to speak with them again on Monday, speaking about how do we educate teachers so that Mr. Ahmad's Vision 2040 can become a reality, because the key is in those key teachers who know how to work with children and with families. Oops, wrong button. So as Aligarh, what we wish to do with young children and teachers is educate their minds, their hands, and their hearts. And the time is now. How we care for our children, the youngest and most vulnerable, is the mark of our society. And we need a strong society in the US, and we need a strong society in India. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Shaheen and Mrs. Mary. We can understand the feeling of Mrs. Mary and Mrs. Shaheen sitting in New York and thinking of Aligarh and Indian small students who are away from the quality education. I think this is the backbone of any society. As our Vice Chancellor has been emphasizing for many, many years, that now having the university is very good, but good schools are the backbone for these universities as a feeders. मैं समझता हूँ इस प्रोग्राम पर, जैसा कि अभी आपने सुना, ये तीनों लोग जो उधर बैठे हैं, मिस्टर अमीन, मिसेस मैरी एंड मिसेस शाहीन, इन लोगों का भी यही कहना है कि अच्छी स्कूलिंग बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. तो अगर हमें अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी में अच्छा स्टाफ भेजना है तो हमें स्कूल्स की तादाद बढ़ानी पड़ेगी. मैं गुजारिश करूँगा जनाब मोहतरम वाइस चांसलर साहब से कि अगर कोई एक्ट की पाबंदी है और हम बाहर स्कूल्स ना खोल पाएँ, तो कम से कम जो 16 किलोमीटर या 16 माइल या 26 किलोमीटर की लिमिट है, उसके अंदर हम ज़रूर प्लान करें कि हम अपने और नए स्कूल्स बना सकें, जिससे हमें अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स यूनिवर्सिटी में दाखिल करने का जिन्हें मौका मिल सके। और उसके लिए भी साथ साथ ज़रूरी होगा कि हम दोबारा फिर यूनिवर्सिटी के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में और ज़्यादा एक्सपेंशन कर सकें। मैं दावत दूंगा अब मेरे अपने कुलीग और इंजीनियरिंग के साथी जनाब मोहम्मद जैगम खान साहब को, जो कि रियाद में मुकीम हैं और जिन्होंने रियाद हॉल के ख्वाब को शर्मिंदा ताबीर करने के लिए एक मेजर रोल अदा किया है। उन्होंने और हमारे दूसरे जो अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी एसोसिएशन के साथी हैं, उन सब ने, कि वो एक खामोशी से हल्की सी एक दिन की बात के ऊपर, जो मुझे याद है कि पिछले साल रमज़ान शरीफ में हम लोग तरावी के बाद निकले मस्जिद से और मैंने अपने प्रेसिडेंट के सामने वो प्रपोज़ल रखा कि क्यों ना अब वक्त आ गया है कि हम एक हॉल बनाएं जिसमें किसी एक इंडिविजुअल की जगह एक एक कमरे का हम उसमें 3 लाख रुपए की कीमत लोग दें और उसे हम एक हॉल बनाएं। और उसी वक्त बैठे बैठे वहाँ पर तकरीबन 35 कमरों का टेलीफोन पर 1 घंटे के अंदर अंदर कमिटमेंट हुआ। ये सब हमारे उन साथियों का जज्बा शौक़ था और उनका अटैचमेंट था अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी से कि वो हॉल शर्मिंदा ताबीर हुआ। और आज अगर आप जाकर देखें तो उसमें तकरीबन 40 कमरे ऑलरेडी उनकी छत पड़ चुकी है और वो बन रहा है। मैं मोहतरम जैगम खान साहब से गुजारिश करूंगा कि वो आएँ और अपने प्रपोजल्स दें कि अलीगढ़ में हम और किस तरह कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं। जनाब जैगम साहब।
शुक्रिया मिस्टर नदीम। जिगर में दर्द लाया हूँ, जिगर में दर्द लाया हूँ, नज़र में प्यार लाया हूँ। जिगर में दर्द लाया हूँ, नज़र में प्यार लाया हूँ। मोहब्बत के हंसी दामन का, मोहब्बत के हंसी दामन का मैं भी एक साया हूँ। न जाने क्या कशिश है आपकी बंदा नवाजी में कि मैं दीवाना होकर आपकी महफिल में आया हूँ। ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल सामिरुद्दीन शाह साहब, प्रो वाइस चांसलर ब्रिगेडियर अहमद अली साहब, चेयरमैन ऑफ अलुमनाई अफेयर्स कमेटी डॉक्टर सोहेल साबिर साहब, moderator and my dear friend Mr. Nadeem Tareen, distinguished dignitaries present on the dais and off the dais, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. At the outset, I would like to pay my sincere tribute to great visionary, statesman, well-wisher of community and reformer, because of whom community went through a transformation to achieve what we are today. I salute Sir Sayyid the Great. It will not be out of context here to extend my gratitude and appreciation to the Vice Chancellor and his entire team for organizing Alumni Meet 2016 and giving me this opportunity to address this august gathering in this historic auditorium. Although I did not know that I would be speaking in this session, and I got to know my role as speaker in the Alumni Meet last night only, therefore I am not in a position to dwell fully on the subject. However, out of my personal experience, I would like to shed some light on the given subject. The theme of this session is infrastructure development, role of alumni, and specific projects of alumni. Talking about alumni and alma mater is a very great nostalgic emotional subject. It is great feeling to be back to a place where it all started and sharing space with you and renewing our pleasant memories of a time when in the classroom and hall of residences we were trained, guided by our teachers and seniors for our professional and social life and responsibilities. Alumni are the ambassador and flag bearer of their alma mater. It is the title that lends definition to our life in its own manner. The depth and magnitude of the relationship that the alumnus has with his or her alma mater just needs a moment of reflection to think about how Aligarh has profoundly shaped our careers and character in the practical life. It also teaches how to deal successfully with the twists and turns of life. Successful, intelligent, innovative, and effective alumni create the university's reputation. Alumni should help to sustain the university through donations and volunteerism. As you know, that it costs a lot of money to keep university on its feet, and a big chunk of that should come from alumni donation. Unfortunately, we are found lacking in this regard compared to alumni of other universities. We have few names like Mr. Nadeem Tareen, Mr. Frank Islam, Mr. Amir Ahmed, but I think we have to think and we have to ponder that how more other people can contribute in their own way to the development of our university. Sometimes large donation allow university to provide students with newer technology, better facilities, and nicer campus, which in turn keeps university competitive and appealing. Coming to specific projects, there are a number of them that can be executed to serve our great alma mater, which in turn serves our nation. Any brick laid in AMU directly contributes to the development of this great nation. In this regard, you will be happy to know that alumni living and serving in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, are building a hall of residence, which is an investment for our future generation and a little payback to this great institution. Mr. Nadeem Tareen has already informed you, and I would further add that the Riyadh Hall is a brainchild of Riyadh alumni under the guidance of Mr. Nadeem Tareen. This is a hall which will accommodate 2,000 students, finally in 500 rooms with all ultra-modern facilities. It is important to inform you that in the construction of the Riyadh Hall, alumni of USA, Dubai, Qatar, as well as from India are contributing. Just a few minutes before, one of my friends, Mr. Naushad Ahmed Ansari, was talking to Mr. Nadeem Tareen for the construction of a room for which he has given him a memorandum of understanding. So I think everybody should come forward to do his best to contribute to the development of infrastructure. I'm of view that it is the most needed segment of the growth and progress of AMU which decides, shape the future and destiny of this great institution. Therefore, the role of alumni in infrastructural development becomes all the more important. Alumni are emotionally and heartedly connected and attached to the alma mater. And if they are kept aware of the system of its governance and administration, they can be in a position to contribute much for the benefit of AMU as it is their alma mater. Infrastructure is backbone of every institution. And I assure this august gathering that we will continue to do our utmost to develop the infrastructure on this great institution which has given everything to us. I would end with this couplet, सींचा है अपने खून से हम तृष्णा लबों ने, सींचा है अपने खून से हम तृष्णा लबों ने, तब जाके इस अंदाज का मैखाना बना है. हिंदुस्तान पाइंदाबाद, AMU जिंदाबाद. Thank you very much.
Very well said by Mr. Zaygam Khan कि इसको हम तृष्णा लबों ने सींचा है.
Tools, books, visuals, and films. Not only Deep has trustees, we have support of good advisors. The support comes from Dr. Ashok Seth, one of the leading interventional cardiologists of India, Dr. Farida Khan, an alum herself, and an endocrinologist at New York Methodist Hospital in New York, Dr. Jamal Ahmed, retired Dean Faculty of Medicine of Jain Medical College, AMU, Dr. Jerry Mechanic, Director of ICANN School of Medicine at Mount Sinai Hospital, and Dr. Sunit Shah, an endocrinologist, Director, Institute of Endocrinology in Max Super Specialty Hospital, New Delhi. So you must be thinking, why did I start this program in AMU? I visit India every year, and I noticed the number of diabetics increasing at an alarming rate, but not the doctors. They say by 2030, India will have 79.4 million individual diabetics, while China 42.3, and United States 30.3 million according to NIH. In 2014, I decided to do some research. I came to India, I visited several hospitals in various cities, and I was lucky enough to be an observer in outpatient clinics. And I saw that the number of patients was enormous, enormous. Doctors did not have the time, they had barely 2 minutes to talk to them, give them a prescription, and they were out. I spoke to the doctors and they said,
वो इस इदारे की वजह से हैं, इसीलिए मैंने यहाँ प्रोग्राम शुरू किया. In 2015 we established DEEP, and I signed a memorandum of understanding with Aligarh Muslim University, and we started our project in JN Medical College. On May 16, DEEP was formally introduced by the principal of JN Medical College, Dr. Tariq Mansoor, and by the Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Zamiruddin Shah. We hired 3 people, 1 nutritionist, 1 educator. We trained them for a month, and 1 office manager. And to tell you today, in 2016, they are doing a remarkable job, and we are very proud and happy to have found them. Aligarh is full of them. All we need is to look for them, and we can train them. Our methodology is we teach patients visually. We believe it should be interactive and visual. So with the help of Department of Mass Communication, we made a film, and now it is played in outpatient clinic in Rajiv Gandhi Center all the time. And we utilize all sorts of tools to help the patient understand food, carbohydrate, how much to eat. We use things like molding clay, or as we call it, Play-Doh, and we ask them to make rotis to see how big, how thick. And most of the patients, they enjoy, they love it, and they laugh and they relax, and they understand what should they be eating. And not only that, we also collect data. We upload the data, we have electronic data. And we also started a new thing called eConnect, where we call the patients, we text them, we email them to find out how they are doing, if they are all right, if they have any questions. So this is the first time that any hospital has done that. And Aligarh Jain Medical College is doing that. I'm very proud. So the whole focus and mission of this program is to educate diabetics. We want to educate them not just about the disease, but the complications, how to recognize those complications, so they have a better outcome of the disease. We guide them, we make them aware of the myths, and we help them through tough times. Here I would digress and I will tell you a story. There was a poor farmer who had come from the village, and it's called A1C. This is the average of 3 months sugar, which you see. And if it's high, that means your sugars have not been so good. He came to me and we were sitting and talking, and I looked at his file and his sugar was high from the last 2 times. And I asked him, Bhaiya, kya hua? Kyun itni badi hui hai? So he turned around and he said, Madam, इस वक्त आलू का सीजन चल रहा है. तो हमने कहा कि भाई आलू के सीजन से क्या होता है? कहले अल्लो, सुबह आलू, दोपहर आलू, शाम आलू, आलू चावल, आलू रोटी, आलू की सब्जी. तो इसलिए मेरा ज़्यादा है. So now I had to work with him to make him understand how to eat his aloo, because he said और कोई सब्जी लेने के लिए 10 मील साइकिल चला के जाना पड़ेगा. तो I said नहीं, 10 मील साइकिल मत चलाओ, 5 ही मील चला लो इतना आलू खा के, कुछ तो शक्कर ठीक होगी. Anyways, so we want to train them and teach them. So next time during the potato season, his A1C should not be so high. So not only Deep does this teaching and educating, but we also have events. Last year, in 2015, on May 16th, we did the first walk for diabetes in AMU. Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Zamiruddin Shah and his wife Sabia Simi Shah were kind enough to lead this walk. We walked from Babe Sayyed to Rajiv Gandhi Center. And then we had another program on November 14th. It's the World Diabetes Day. We had a camp in Rajiv Gandhi Center where we did poster painting, we did a lot of quizzes, we distributed prizes. Mrs. Shah gave out prizes to little kids, and everybody was very happy. And then in January of 2016, we had a camp in National Charitable Hospital in Upper Fort area. And we had a lot of volunteers from the medical college. We had Dr. Noor Afshan, Dr. Hamida Tariq, Dr. Jamal Ahmed. It was extremely cold, but we all were there in the morning, and we taught the patients how to lead a life. We did blood sugar testing, we did A1C testing, free of cost, consultation, teaching them about diabetes. We did all that on one cold winter morning. And I'm very proud of the fact that so many people volunteered. Sorry. So while we were collecting data, we analyzed the data and realized we followed 239 patients, and we saw that the A1C, the people who were taught, the A1C went down. So we wrote a paper, an abstract, and submitted to Endocrinology Society of India, and our paper was accepted. And they're going to have a conference on October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. With help of Dr. Jamal Ahmed and Deep, we would be presenting that paper on October 21st of this year in New Delhi. So I wanted to show you a few graphs of the patients from the patient's perspective, कि patient को कैसा लगता है. तो ये हम उनसे पूछते हैं कि तुमने हमसे क्या सीखा, तुमको कितना समझ में आया, तुम्हारा कॉन्फिडेंस कितना बढ़ा. तो ये ग्राफ्स उसके हैं, जिसमें से 95% पेशेंट्स खुश हैं, सब ठीक से समझ लेते हैं और अच्छी ज़िंदगी गुजार रहे हैं. ये कुछ फोटोग्राफ्स हैं जो मैं दिखाना चाहती हूँ वॉक की, जब हम लोग चैरिटेबल हॉस्पिटल गए थे वहाँ की. हम लोग की किताब भी रिलीज्ड अ बुक बिकॉज वी गिव इट टू द पेशेंट्स फॉर फ्री. ये उसकी है. और ये हम लोग के मीडिया जिसने काफ़ी कवरेज दिया था हम लोग की वॉक को भी, हम लोग की कैंप को भी. हम लोग का फ्यूचर प्लान ये है कि हम लोग ऐसे सेंटर्स और भी खोलें, और भी एजुकेटर्स, अच्छे न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट को जाके डिफरेंट सेंटर्स में खोल के, और जिन लोगों को इतनी आज़ाइश नहीं है कि वो जा सके प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में, पब्लिक हॉस्पिटल्स में जो आते हैं उनको हम ये बात समझा सकें, उनको हम बता सकें कि डायबिटीज़ में अच्छी ज़िंदगी गुजारी जाती है. प्रॉब्लम अब आती है पैसों की। मैं ये काम अकेले करती हूँ, and I have about a year more to run this show. Government of India does not permit money from outside. They have a ruling, it's called FCRA. I need that certificate, and it takes 3 years to get that certificate. So what we are doing is, we are asking everybody who's sitting here if they can contribute some money, any money, to Deep, so that we can grow. So if anybody is interested, they can just talk to me. I'll tell them exactly how to do this. और लास्ट में ये सारी चीज़ें हो ही नहीं सकती थी अगर ये लोग ने मेरा साथ ना दिया होता। ये जो हमारे सबसे पहले, my thanks, without whom this program would not have been possible, is the Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Zameeruddin Shah. He had faith in me. He knew, I spoke to him, he signed my memorandum, he had faith in me. Dr. Tariq Mansoor, without his support, Deep would not have existed in medical college. Dr. Jamal Ahmed, retired Dean Faculty of Medicine of Jain Medical College. Dr. Sheelu Shafiq, who is very encouraging. He's the Rajiv Gandhi Center's director. Some of my friends, Dr. Simi Hassan, Dr. Abrar Hassan, who supported me, who solved some very difficult problems of mine, and also Dr. Ashraf Khan and Dr. Fawad Khan of Aligarh Medical Alumni Association of North America. They have supported me all the way. And of course, I should not forget my sister Nazma Zama and her husband Qaisar Zama, for putting up with me, because I come here twice in a year. And where do I stay? With my sister. So they put up with me. And finally, I should thank my husband, Dr. Kokan Shamsi. Without his support, without his financial support, without his encouragement, I would not have been here. So I thank you all. And Khuda Hafiz. But एक बात ये सुन लीजिए, education, I believe strongly, if the women are educated, if women anywhere, if they are educated, they run the house, they run the food, they run the children, वो सब देखती हैं। अगर हम उनको किसी तरह से इस बात के लिए एजुकेट कर सकें कि किस तरह से डायबिटीज़ उनके बच्चों को ना हो, उनके शौहर को ना हो, ये हम कर सकते हैं। चाहे हम शुरू करें अब्दुल्ला हॉल से, चाहे हम शुरू करें किसी भी दायरे में, लेकिन हमको औरतों को ट्रेन अगर करें तो ये शायद बीमारी कम हो सकती है। अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं, किसी से भी पूछूं कि आपके घर में कितने डायबिटिक हैं, शायद सबके हाथ ऊपर हो जाएं, आप सब कहें कि या हमारे घर में हैं। तो हम चाहते यही हैं कि हम जितनों को एजुकेट कर सकें, स्पेशली औरतों को, उससे ज़्यादा मुझे खुशी कुछ नहीं होगी। खुदा हाफिज। थैंक यू। I cannot be cured. No, I cannot be cured. I'm type 1, I wear an insulin pump, but I lead a very healthy life. I play tennis, I run, I jog, I do everything. I roam the world. So, you can manage your diabetes. You cannot cure your diabetes. You can manage it. And that's what I'm teaching, management. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ghazala. And now I think this will be the end of this session. I am very much thankful to university authorities, to our beloved Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor and his team, also Dr. Suhail Sahab, to provide us this opportunity. देखिए ये भी एक बड़ा काम है, लोगों को एक जगह बिठाना और उनको ये मौका फराहम करना कि वो कम्युनिटी की डिजीज़ के बारे में सोच सकें और उसके लिए सल्यूशन तलाश कर सकें। बिल्कुल इस तरह जिस तरह एक डॉक्टर का काम होता है कि वो पहले मर्ज़ की तशख़ीस करे और उसके लिए फिर दवा की तजवीज़ करे। ये जितनी कोशिशें हैं ये सब उसी प्रोसेस का एक हिस्सा हैं। मैं बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुज़ार हूँ तमाम यूनिवर्सिटी अथॉरिटीज़ का कि जो इतना इंटरेस्ट लेती हैं और मौका फराहम करती हैं हम अलमनाइज़ को यहाँ बैठने का और अपनी इस मादरे दर्सगाह को सर्व करने का। ठीक है, हम सर्व करते हैं, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ इन लोगों की भी अनथक कोशिशें और नेक नियति है कि जिसकी वजह से हमारी जो तमन्नाएं हैं, ये जो हमारा कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो आकर यहाँ सही जगह पर लगाया जाता है और उसका सही इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। मैं समझता हूँ दोनों ही काबिल मुबारकबाद हैं, देने वाले भी और लेने का इंतज़ाम करने वाले भी। हमें इस मिशन को आगे बढ़ाए रखना है और ये जो 7-8 साल हैं ख़ास तौर पर, और उसके बाद यकीनन आने वाली नस्ल इस प्रोसेस को जारी रखेगी। मैं इसी के साथ आप सबका शुक्रगुज़ार हूँ कि आपने इसका मौका दिया और उम्मीद करूँगा कि अगले साल जब इंशाअल्लाह हम 2017 में सर सैयद की 200 साला बरसी मनाने शुरू होंगे, जश्न मिलाद बल्कि कहिए कि जश्न मिलाद मनाने के लिए इकट्ठा होंगे, तो हमारी एक बड़ी तादाद ऐसी होगी जो अपने आप को ये कह रही होगी कि हम इस मिशन का हिस्सा हैं और हम यूनिवर्सिटी के डेवलपमेंट में हमारा भी योगदान है, हमारा भी इसमें हिस्सा है। शुक्रिया, जज़ाकल्लाह, खुदा हाफिज़। मैं एक और ऐलान करना चाहूँगा, मोहतरम अमीर अहमद साहब जिन्होंने विज़न 2040 की बुनियाद डाली है और उनका अल्टीमेट एम है और नज़रिया है कि अगर यूपी में तालीम को आम कर दिया जाए तो पूरे हिंदुस्तान में मुसलमानों को तालीम में एक्सीलेंस करने की कोई वजह नहीं रह जाएगी। हालांकि वो ख़ुद केरला से तशरीफ़ लाए हैं, मगर अलीगढ़ की तालीम की देन है ये कि केरला में रहने वाला ये सोच रहा है कि यूपी को किस तरह से तालीम में आगे बढ़ाया जाए। हम सबको उनका साथ देना चाहिए। इसी ताल्लुक़ से कल शाम 3 बजे एक प्रोग्राम ये रेजिडेंशियल कोचिंग एकेडमी में उन्होंने रखा है जिसमें वो अपना पूरा विज़न देंगे और आगे का लायामल बताएंगे कि किस तरह हमें यूपी में तालीम फैलानी है और यूपी में किस तरह से लिटरेसी रेट को, उनका प्रोग्राम ये है कि 2040 तक यूपी में 100% लिटरेसी हो, बिल्कुल इसी तरह जिस तरह के केरला में आज 100% लिटरेसी है। तो मैं गुजारिश करूंगा कि जितने भी लोग हैं वो वहाँ उस प्रोग्राम में तशरीफ़ लाएं और उनको सपोर्ट करें। अगर यकीन कीजिए उनका ये विज़न कामयाब हो जाता है तो ये समझिए कि ये हमारी बहुत बड़ी कामयाबी होगी और हम सब शुक्रगुजार होंगे केरलियन कम्युनिटी का और ख़ास तौर पर अमीर भाई का कि जिन्होंने आकर बाहर से हमें यहाँ जगाया है और यूपी में इस तालीम को मुहिम को आगे बढ़ाया है। शुक्रिया।
Thank you very much, everybody. There is a photo exhibition in Manuddin Art Gallery. There will be tea break and namaz break. After that, here we will assemble again for the third technical session. And in between, there will be exhibition in Art Gallery, sir. Okay. Our Vice Chancellor, sir, and Pro Vice Chancellor heading for this Manuddin Art Gallery exhibition. Please join. And after that, take a cup of tea with us and for namaz break. After again, we will come back here for the third session, that is alumni students interaction. That is very interesting. Students are requested to please join us after this break. Thank you very much.